Hello students, my name is Dr. Maggie Gaddis and I will be taking you through this journey of environmental science learning this semester. In this quick video, I will take you through the course, but I still expect you to click on every page in the class and read it. Then I'd like you to introduce yourself in the community introduction discussion and let me know if you have any questions. The whole syllabus can be found here. Please take a moment to read all of this. These are the learning outcomes that we're going to cover throughout the course. My individual development and educational assessment objectives, your guaranteed transfer statement, and then here is a short description of all the assignments. I'll talk about that now, but you can read about it as well. And then here's my words about classroom management. Then there's lots of valuable information and the course schedule. I will reiterate sections of the course schedule in the news, but you can find it all here if you want to get a digested glimpse of the entire semester. There it is. This course summary, I don't recommend that you use this exclusively because notice the discussions are not showing up here because I don't put due dates on the discussion because there are 2 due dates. So if you follow this course summary, you're going to miss stuff. So don't use it. Likewise, the calendar is not the best tool to use in this classroom because those discussion assignments don't have calendar due dates. So back to this home page, if I have posted recent announcements, which I always will have, they will appear right here. If you want to see the archive of them, you can click here, and I make lecture support video announcements and then also schedule updates and other like just-in-time commentary if people are confused about stuff. So let's go into the modules. So in this first week, I really want you to spend time reading these documents, understanding what the expectations are for all the assignments in this course, and introducing yourself. If you don't introduce yourself, you might get dropped at the census date, so please do that. Then we're going to go into our units. So notice that the pattern is the same in every unit. The reading resources and learning outcomes for the whole course are in the same wiki page. And then the lab overview here. And then we have these Unit 1 reading and study prep assignments. These are 7-point optional assignments. I really believe in the principle of recursion that the more you interact with the material, the more you're going to learn and retain. So this looks a little wonky, but there's 7 rows there. And the basic gist is that you write the date, what you did, for how long, and then you write at least 200 words of notes. Now, if you get real efficient, you would write your notes, use them to make your discussion post, and then you will have studied a great deal. And the more you contribute to the discussion, the more your personal words will show up in the quizzes, and I'll describe that right now. So as you're reading, take notes. You don't have to use the table, but I want the date and I want how long you studied and what you studied, and then real notes. Don't say, I studied mitosis. Tell me what the steps of mitosis are. And then each point relates to like 1 day of studying. So if we're in a 2-week module, then be studying every 2 to 3 days. Okay, then you go into your discussions and you started reading, you see those same learning outcomes appearing. And in the discussion post, you just choose one section, website from or web page from the reading and you identify it. So for example, in the first learning outcome, I don't want to see a post where someone defines environment, environmental science, and ecology. I want you to define just environment and give an example or a description of that. Leave enough for everyone to contribute their authentic voice to the discussion, which is essentially a study guide for you and me. At the end of the last week of the discussion, I work on the quizzes. I think about what we discussed and I put that into the assessment. So if we have a concept in the readings that doesn't show up in the discussion, it probably is not going to be on the quiz. If it's really important and it got missed, I will have information in the quiz from which you could answer a question. So the basic punchline is participate in discussion, and then you will be in the driver's seat where the quizzes are concerned. The quiz is open 4 days before they are due, and they stay open for an unlimited amount of time once you click on them, but you only have one attempt. So make sure you set a few hours of time available to get this done. They are mostly auto-graded questions, like multiple choice questions, but I've worked a great deal to make them as authentic as possible. I had them as short answer questions for a long time, and then I developed multiple choice questions using students' responses and discussion as the options for the multiple choice questions. So I want you to choose the best, most accurate answer that addresses the question. So the quizzes will come up 6 times in the course. Let's go back here. I would keep mentioning these pages. If you want to see all the pages, you just go to the pages link, which I might mention to you when emailing you. If you want to see all the pages, you click view all pages here, and you can see the primary documents from which the assignments are designed. On the home page, so long as I don't forget, sometimes I do, I change the page that is the home page to reflect whatever unit we're studying at the time. Now let's go over to here. We have the lab work, we have the quizzes, we have the discussions. Then as we start to wrap up our lab work, we will start working on the final project. So essentially the final project is a 2-page paper that you write about a topic, one of the learning outcomes that we studied in this course. You are going to get going on it before you actually get through all the units, but you can see what we're going to study here by looking at the learning outcomes at any time. So say, for example, you are most jazzed with environmental laws. Even if we don't get there, you could still start like looking up references about environmental laws before we get to Unit 6 so that you could meet that first deadline of submitting the citations. And then you will submit an annotated bibliography, which is essentially notes on citations for your paper, then an outline, a first draft, and a final draft. By the time you submit that paper, it should be a shining example of your writing quality, and also it should have helped you to explore a topic within the course that is of great interest to you. I did put in that document we were looking at before, Final Projects, some examples of how students have really made this their own. Okay, so here's some examples of ways that students have made this their own experience writing about something that is 100% about what we're learning here, but is about a specific topic like dental health or wildland firefighting or ballet, you name it. All sorts of things interface with environmental science. So don't forget we have tutoring services, libraries here at CMC, and I look forward to meeting you very, very soon. I hope I've covered all the key points. I like to make videos, but it's a lot more motivating to me if you ask me to make a video about a specific thing. So please don't hesitate to communicate with me. Please use the Canvas inbox to write me messages. I go to my classroom first. I put my students first, and then when I have time, I go look at my CMC email. So keep our communication here. Thank you.